Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here. Finally catching up on some Boruto action. I'm about a month behind on the reviews and the episodes in general. Finally got to episode 82, so this is my review, of course, for episode 82. I know I'm looking at the TV like you guys know that the TV's on, but the TV's on right now. Infiltrating the Hidden Stone Village. I started this a while back, and I don't know what in the world I was doing. I just wasn't paying attention. I just stopped, and so it had been a minute, so I rewatched the whole episode. Decent episode. The big thing that happened, of course, was the ending. Because the whole episode I was watching, I was like, man, this is so late. Like, is there even anything worth talking about for this review? Because nothing happened. Konohamaru decides to take on the mission to go, find Mitsuki. I was like, okay, that's cool. And the kids were in the village. And that was really the whole episode until it finally got to the end where they actually met Inoki. And then we find out that this guy who ends up being his son, we'll see how that ends up playing out, because this guy looked fairly young in my opinion when he came down, but I was like, as soon as he dropped down and the way he was moving, I was like, he's related to him, which that was kind of the main thing that kind of led me to do this episode on its own instead of trying to like do 2 episodes at a time or something. And it's because I remember in my review when they actually showed the guy when he took out Kurotsuchi, it was like she knew who he was, and I mentioned it would be pretty funny if they happen to be related, because like that's kind of the odd thing with all the main characters of the Stone Village, they all happen to be related, and that's actually exactly what ended up happening. Is that I guess technically this guy would be her uncle, but he looked like almost as young as she did, so I was like, oh, that's interesting. But I thought that was really interesting. It was just the way it played out. I was like, all right, that's odd. Of course, Inoki being, a hero of heroes, and, they kind of talk him up, and obviously we've seen it if you watch Shippuden, but it's like, he's got some weird evil plan going on now, and it makes him a bad guy. And I was like, well, that's a twist. And it's the funny thing about it is, it just makes me wonder, like, what's going on. Obviously the whole thing has been, what is it that they're going towards? So I hope that answer is in the next episode. If not, with me being so far behind, it's probably already been answered by now. But I was like, this is a cool way to end the episode. And it's a nice twist where Inoki is the villain and it's his son and stuff like that. And it was really odd because, the kids finally get to him and like, all right, they actually achieved their goal. They were able to find him. And then when they find out when he finds out, like, Boruto's like, hey, we need your help because we're actually trying to find our friend Mitsuki and stuff like that. And then it's just a complete 180. It's like, oh, you guys need to go home. Like, I can't really help you, unfortunately. You should probably, you should get escorted back to the village and just get out of here. And it's like, what in the world is going on? That would happen now. It's like, what in the world is going on here? But then we see this guy come down, and at first it was like, okay, maybe he's going to attack him because, of course, he attacked his own, I guess it would be his niece. I was like, okay, so, he attacked her. He's dropping down. He's going to go in for the kill with Inoki, and we'll see what happens there. But then he actually just walks up to him, and he's like, he says something else, and then he just says father right after. And I was like, well, there it is. Like, that's his dad, which, once again, like I said, was super crazy, because Inoki, having a kid that young is like, all right, well, they probably won't get into those elements. That's one of the things Boruto loves to do. It's just like, poof, new generation of people, and it's like, well, where the F was this person at? And then, bunch of random stuff, of course. But like I said, the guy did seem young. Like, even in this, I was like, he kind of seems like he might actually be younger than Kurotsuchi. So I was like, it could just be one of those situations. That sort of stuff does happen in real life, but it was just interesting to see. So don't exactly know where it's headed, but hopefully the answer is revealed in the next episode. Of course, with this review being so incredibly late, I won't ask the normal question I probably would have asked, but definitely want to know, what was your reaction to Inoki's son kind of dropping down? And it, who knows, with the way they do stuff, sometimes they'll say father and it'll be like, that's his adopted son. So that could definitely be the case, which would explain why, the crazy age difference. But I would love to know your reactions. Like, what did you guys first feel when you saw that moment where it's like, as soon as he dropped down, I instantly knew they were related, because I believe they mentioned that Inoki's power is a Kekkei Genkai, and I could be completely wrong about that. But that's what I kind of remember from Shippuden, however long ago it was that they first talked about his powers ever. I felt like it was a Kekkei Genkai. So when he was like slowly floating down, I'm like, they're related. That's pretty much how it's boom, it's right there. They are related. So, for me, it was like, all right, that's not exactly a twist, because that was kind of what I guess. I just thought it would be cool. Like, they always happen to be related when it comes to the main characters within the Stone Village, and they kind of added to that. And maybe that's always kind of been the point. Maybe that was done on purpose and not just for like, surprise slash shock purposes. It was just like, that's always been the case with these characters. They're always kind of, pretty much related to each other. So I thought that was cool. But definitely want to know your reactions from when that first played out. And of course, definitely want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.